What's up, guys? Rob around here for TheLines.com. Let's talk a little Monday Night Football. Between the Los Angeles Rams and the Green Bay Packers, not the game we thought this was going to be whenever the season started. That is for damn sure. But hey, listen, we can still bet on it, so we're going to talk about it. As we do, everything free here, so please hit that subscribe button down below. Give us a thumbs up and then let us know in the comment section how you going to play this thing. Does it interest you at all? What's going on here? Props, total, do you like a side? Whatever it may be. Coming off a really, really good week in the NFL. Hopefully you listen to the full week preview podcast that we do. And of course, get up in this Discord up here. Good week for everybody over at the Lines. As we sit right now, 7.5 is the number we're looking at in favor of Green Bay up in Lambeau. 39.5 is your total. Now, one thing you're going to hear a ton about between now and kickoff, it is cold in Green Bay. It is real cold. It is friggin' like 10 degrees Fahrenheit. And so it is going to be just bitterly cold. I mean, look, cold doesn't affect a ton other than the kicking game, really, when it's just straight, just bitter cold. I mean, we're not going to have winds, really. We're not going to have any precipitation coming down. So really, it's just going to be like the punt game and the kick game, because what you do hear these kickers and punters say and stuff like that is like when it gets that cold, like we're not talking about like freezing temperatures of 32. We're talking, it's 10. It's 22 degrees under freezing. And so with that, it just makes the ball like rock hard, right? It's just harder to get any sort of carry and stuff on that. So we do have that. On the Green Bay side of things, Bakhtiari going to be out on the line again. Just brutal for them on that. On the Rams side of things, we kind of know what they're dealing with, right? No Cooper Kupp, no Matthew Stafford, no Aaron Donald. Your three best players aren't playing for them in this one. So we can take a look at this Packers offense versus the Rams defense and kind of see how this all matches up. I mean, look, this has been a very inconsistent Packers offense all season long. Romeo Doubs not going to be back out there for them this week. They were hoping maybe he would be able to get back. Not going to be the case for them. So we're going to see a lot of the same. And listen, I think when I say a lot of the same, I really actually mean, I think we're going to see a lot of the same from a utilizing these two running backs a ton. I mean, if you look at what the Rams defense is good at, and listen, if you look at the advanced stats for season-long stuff, it's going to say that they're really good against the run. The problem is there's no Aaron Donald, and so when he's not out there, it's much, much different for this team. And so while I think that there is still going to be some passing success for the Packers, I think that they're going to try to go fairly run-heavy here. There's nobody to throw to there for Aaron Rodgers. If we look at the Rams offense versus the Packers defense, you can take a look at this. I mean, this is just, I don't have to tell you how poor this Rams offense has been all season long. And when I mean poor, I'm talking like bottom 5, 6 in damn near every single category that there is. Their offense overall DVOA is 26th. Pro Football Focus agrees and has them at 26th. If you look at what their pressure rate allowed, 29th. Adjusted sack rate is 30th. If you look at their offensive EPA, it's 30th. Their offensive success rate is 28th. Yards per play, 32nd. That's dead last. I don't have to tell you. You already know that. So it's just insanity for me in this one. I took a very small piece of a plus 7.5 on the Rams when this thing first opened on last Sunday. I thought maybe I was going to get the better of this and be able to kind of middle a 7 because I thought this thing would get under a field goal. It did for a second. Like it got to 6.5 for just a hot second and then immediately just got bought. And so it's back up to the 7.5 right now. So my plan didn't really work out. If I'd have been sitting right in front of a computer that when it hit the 6.5, I might have been able to pull off what I was trying to do. That being said, I don't hate having the 7.5. I think it's a low scoring game. I mean, the total dictates that, right? I mean, we would be getting 7.5 points in a game with a total of 39.5 in bitter cold, which likely would, again, kind of lean towards a run-based team. I'll let you roll up right here. You can see how Evan looks at this game, how he thinks that this is going to go. So, and then certainly on the Rams side of things, I mean, they're not going to have Baker slinging it all over the field. Now, it might be absolutely pathetic from a run standpoint, but I think that they're still going to try to run the ball. Another couple of things here from a total standpoint. It would be an under or pass even with it being so incredibly low. One, I think, as we're talking about, I think it's going to be run-based as it is anyway. Two, these are two of the slowest paced teams in all the NFL. As far as situation neutral for the Rams, they're 29th. Situation neutral pace for Green Bay is 30th. So two of the very slowest teams in all the NFL. Super deliberate, take all the time off the clock before they run plays here. So another thing to keep in mind when we are taking a look at this game. Again, I have the 7.5 in. Don't love it. Don't hate it. If I had to play it, I would still take the points in a game in which Green Bay has had a very inconsistent offense all season long. The problem is just, what is this Rams team anymore? What can they do? I know Baker had the hero win last week. He does have a, full week to prepare for this and, know that he's going to be the starter. So do they look any better at all? Are they able to put anything together whatsoever? I guess we'll see, but wouldn't be laying over a touchdown with Green Bay in any stretch. It's funny that Evan is on some A.J. Dillon stuff because that's where I'm looking at from a prop standpoint. Like I said, I think that this is going to be an incredibly run-heavy approach for Green Bay. And kind of under the radar, Dillon has been getting a lot of carries, right? Like kind of under the radar, he's been one of the dudes that has seen his workload kind of tick up here of recent. If you look, he's gone for at least 64 yards in 3 of the last 4 games. And so they're kind of splitting this thing even. And so in a game in which I do believe that they're not going to be as much passing, I'll look at the over on the 45.5 for A.J. Dillon in this game. From a same game parlay, listen, we can get an almost 5-1 here on a pretty basic handicap, right? Like the totals, the spread is sitting 7.5 right now. The total sitting 39.5. I took the Rams up to 10.5. So now we're getting on the other side of 2 scores, like other side of 10. Even if you think that the Packers are going to win the game, which they very well might and probably should, are they going to win at margin? Are they going to win at margin in a game with a 40 total? That's kind of what I asked myself here. So that's the Rams up to 10.5. Like I said, I lean towards the under, so give myself 5 points of cushion here, under 44.5 on the total. And again, that key-ish number of 44. So we're going to take the under of 44.5. And then, like I just said, I think A.J. Dillon gets his in the rushing standpoint. So we'll take the over 49.5 for that. And it gets us nearly to 5-1. So, it's a decent little, you only need 3 things to happen in this same game parlay. All very, all pretty correlated. Again, if it's a run heavy approach, the under, all the different things like that. And if it's run heavy approach and we're looking at an under, then 10.5 points in a game with, is super, super valuable. So anyway, kind of a correlated look here at plus 475. Look, this is a stinker of a game, guys. No doubt about it. Nothing I think you could be running to the window. I know there's probably going to be some people who want to play a same game teaser. If you wanted to tease down the Packers to 1 and play an under, I'm not going to talk you off of it. They should win this thing. It does feel more like a field goal-ish type win or something like that. Even if they win by touchdown, you're still, even if you win by touchdown, you still probably are feeling, okay about playing the teaser as opposed to anything else. You'd be losing if it's just a touchdown at the minus 7.5. So if you wanted to do that, I don't think it's the end of the world here. I typically don't like teasing totals, but I know that some people just want to get action in on a game and have some instant gratification. So if you want to go that route, I think that that's a solid route to kind of play this game as well. Evan's full article up for free over on the website. So please go check that out. There'll be discussion in the Discord leading up to kickoff. So please go in, join, talk to everybody, see what's going on in there. And of course, come on, let's do this. Let's go ahead and subscribe. You've been watching these videos. Just hit that subscribe button, please. Help us out. It's a free way that you can help us out. And that's awesome. Thumbs up. And then let us know in the comment section. What do you think? Is there other prop maybe that you're looking at? Is there any other things in this that maybe, you can squeeze out some sort of value? I don't know. Just not a ton for me to love about this game. Good luck on all your bets here on Monday Night Football.